So here's a really good short story, which again backs up why A, you must spend years getting to know your girl before you even consider proposing. This 1 year, 2 year, 3 year crap is ridiculous, and you're going to see why. 2, how a woman, if she perceives you as weak and sees you as never going anywhere, she can say or do anything, you're not going anywhere, the amount of BS that's going to come your way is unreal. And 3, yes, there are women that will deliberately get involved with and marry a guy that they're not at all in love with because they want to have a ring. They want to be married, the ceremony, be the bride, her magical day, blah, blah, blah. And again, that guy's going to be treated like crap. And men has to be aware of this. And the second they see any of this crap, get rid of them. Titled, Am I the a-hole if I break up with my fiancée after she showed a startling change of behavior after getting engaged? Right there in the title. It says, I, a 32-year-old male, recently proposed to my girlfriend of 2 years, Sharon, a 30-year-old female. Smack! 2 years, that's it. Are you nuts? But notice he said she's 30. What do you want to bet? She's been pressuring him and dropping hints since day one. Putting on the best behavior to get that proposal and married while she's still 30. I proposed about a month and a half ago. And it feels like the second the ring got on her finger, her attitude and behavior took a total 180. Shocker. The entire time we were dating, we seemed exceptionally compatible, and at least it seemed we shared a common belief in morals. No, she was putting on a show to get you to propose to her, doing whatever she had to do. 7 weeks ago, I proposed and she said yes, and I felt like it was the happiest moment for the two of us. Well, I was happy for both of you for different reasons. But now, not even a week later, it's like her attitude totally flipped. I thought I knew all her friends, but one day I came home and there were 6 women I've never seen before, and Sharon introduced me to them. I was curious as to why I was just now meeting them when I already had met Sharon, his 2 best friends, Michelle and Octavia. Both were not present. I met them over a year and a half ago. Sharon said that she wanted to make sure we were a sure thing before I met her inner circle. Her inner circle, huh? You mean more like her coven? I found this strange, not to mention the fact that it was a weeknight and they were quickly draining my wine rack. Sharon still had her own place, but she stayed with me so often she practically lives here. Still, I found it incredibly rude when they left with 4 empty bottles of rosé in their wake. Bro, that is just the beginning of her taking your shit. So she invites this bunch of women over you never met before to your freaking apartment or house, and they're there drinking all your freaking wine. That's unbelievable disrespect. But we're not even close to guys being finished with the disrespect here. You should have laid the law right then and there. I tried to talk to Sharon about having uninvited guests on the weekends, and she dismissed my grievance very flippantly, more that she brushed me off. Oh, no. You don't talk to me like that. You don't have people just show up here in my fucking place midweek. You let me know if somebody's coming over, and I'll give you my approval. And you don't drink all my fucking wine. So before you go, you're going to go to the liquor store and replenish my rosé. And I don't care if the liquor store is closed. Go find one that's open. Or we're going to have a problem here. Remember, guys, he ain't married to her yet. The following week, she went out with the girls several times, and when she brought the girls to my place twice without notice, once with notice to appease me, in her words, they all treated me like I was their butler, shaking the empty wine glasses for me for refills. Are you fucking kidding me, Jesse? Right there, shaking it like you're in a fucking restaurant. Bro, guys, do you see? The second that ring on her finger, the attitude begins. This is who she really is. And you know what? In her mind, wow, this dumbass proposed to me just 2 years after dating me, and he doesn't really know me. He ain't going anywhere. I can treat him like shit and make him look like a fool in front of my friends. And her friends are a bunch of assholes too. Right there. But he's a dumbass, and I have to smack him for it, for allowing this to be like the 4th time they come over to the house. They shouldn't have come over after a 2nd time. She doesn't respect him, and he's not at this point yet good at laying down the law. After the 4th time really, I made it clear that I will get a locked wine rack. Sharon called me no fun after that, and it gets worse. She decided that me and the girls got off on the wrong foot and said that we should have a dinner together at a nice restaurant. Oh, I can see where this is going. Well, I went, and it was not great. The 6 kept prodding me about my life, my house, my career, but deflected every question I asked. Translation, they want to find out, in your job, potentially how much money you can make? Is there ways to move up in your company or whatever to make more money? The type of house, all sorts of stuff. Probably they were looking for hints about assets and things like that. Yeah. But again, this is the dumbass that went along with this. I got especially bad at night. It got bad that night when they started talking about modern relationships and jealousy. And one of them brought up some key points about relationships that I thought Sharon and I were on the same page about. Specifically, what ifs regarding polyamory and being friends with exes. They brought that up all on purpose and referring to jealousy and things like that, trying to shame you. So already they're setting the stage that when she gets married, she can start asking for open relationship, talk to her exes and all that. Bro, how many signs do you need? But I think this guy is just so shocked that she completely changed. But the thing is, she didn't change. This is who she is. The person that he's been seeing for 2 years is just a charade. To my shock, Sharon said we shouldn't be too hasty on such decisions, which was a total 180 on how she expressed herself on these things only a month before, where she was fully against keeping ex-partners in ex-intimate partners as friends and was staunchly non-monogamous. Well, she's got that ring on her finger now. The worst part was when the bill arrived. I bet you guys can see what's coming. Sharon announced it should be together and slid me the check. I want to say unbelievable, but it's totally believable. This guy's nothing but a meal ticket for her and all her a-hole friends. I'm surprised they aren't asking for new brooms for their coven. I told her she can't be serious, and we got into a bit of an argument. I ended up putting my amount down on the table in cash and walked out the door. Good for you, brother. Leaving them to figure out the rest of the bill. The next days after that, Sharon kept calling me toxic and fragile, but every time I even pushed at it, she would give me an apology and promise she was just stressed at work. Stressed at work my ass, okay? We all have bad days on the job. We can have work for a-holes and a-hole clients and customers, but doesn't mean we treat our loved ones like the way she's treating him. Bullshit. Or all her friends having bad days and stressed at work too? No. And notice he said she was using the shaming tactics like, what the hell, with toxic and fragile. That's what these types do to good guys, nice guys, foolish guys, when they try to shame them into behavior. You're being toxic, fragile, your fragile ego. Ay, ay, ay. He says it's nuts. We haven't even planned the wedding yet. The worst part was this Monday, when at work I got a Nest doorbell alert. I checked in and saw Sharon and one of her 6 new friends arriving at my place, going in and exiting with my golf clubs. Oh no, they didn't go in after a man's golf clubs. This set was a gift for my father, and it cost a pretty penny too. Sharon lending it out without my permission got me pissed off. I immediately called her and told her and her friends to return the clubs. Good for you. Why is this motherfucker still with her? I mean, unless all this shit was happening over the course every other day or something like that, but no, it's never gotten this far. This is why, see, she knows in her mind, look at all this shit I'm doing to this guy, and he still isn't going anywhere. He still isn't truly putting me in my place. Women do not respect weakness, weak men. I guarantee this woman would be spreading her legs for dudes that treat her like dog shit. And her friends. Sharon tried to gaslight me, but you promised to lend the clubs to her boyfriend, remember? I told her the club's cost would move it into a serious crime. And her and her friends had an hour to return them, or I would call the cops. Good job, dude. Sharon kept insisting she got my permission, and I told her to cut the crap. Well, not 45 minutes later, I got another notification of Sharon and her friends come back with the clubs and going inside, leaving them. Sharon's friend flipped off the next doorbell on the way out. I got home and saw Sharon's friend literally just threw the clubs and back on the living room floor. Sharon tried to talk to me about my toxicity again, and I told her to cut the crap. I said if I knew this and how it was, I would have never have proposed. Thank you. That seemed to freak her out again, and she again insisted that she was stressed from work, but I wasn't buying it anymore. Well, it's about time, dude. Again, what, you're going to marry her? Guess what? She's going to have, let's just say for argument's sake, she has a stressful job at work. Oh, okay, is this how she handles things? That's going to be the rest of your life, dude. You think she's bad now? Wait till you freaking marry her after all this bullshit. End it with her. Take the ring back, even if you have to, get a chainsaw to get that ring off. I don't care what, or you need to find a good witch to cast a spell on her or something. I don't care. Get that ring back, get rid of her. I told her to return the ring and her key, and we would talk about our relationship this weekend. She cried and begged me not to cancel the engagement and insisted it was just stress. I don't care. I told her again, we will talk about this weekend. She finally relented. I had my house rekeyed anyways, and after she left, just to be safe. Good idea, dude. Very good idea. Sharon had been texting me constant messages of love and apologies for getting swept up and insisted she was only wanting to show me off to her close friends. Show you off? No, she was humiliating you. And they were happy to do that. This is who she is. This is who her friends are. Remember, you pay attention to who your girl's friends are? There you go. And there's a reason you didn't see them all these years. Because if you met her friends in the last 2 years, you wouldn't be with her. I don't know. I'm just not buying it. The same so-called close friends have been sending me texts daily, calling me toxic and fragile, again, saying they knew I wasn't mad enough for Sharon or secure enough to share her with friends. It's amazing to me they all do the same thing. And the thing is, there are guys that actually fall for this. First of all, if I were him, I'd be telling all those motherfuckers to say, you text me again, you reach out to me again, bother me. This is harassment, and I'm going to freaking come after you. And I'd be telling the Sharon chick, we're done. End of story. I sent her a text. She doesn't even deserve an in-person breakup. Don't ever contact me again. End of story. You show me who you are, ultimate disrespect. And if I find out that you start harassing me, if you start bombarding me with texts, phone calls, attacking my property, if you start slandering my name on social media, so help me God, not only will we be getting the cops involved if it's warranted, but I will sue you for defamation, slander, any other fucking thing, including your friends. These people are psychos. A few of my friends that knew Sharon the entire 2 years were surprised and can't believe she turned like Dr. Hyde like this. And that there must be something missing, or that I'm leaving something out. They say I must have said something to trigger her friends to act like this, and I had to be an a-hole somewhere along the process. I don't know, it's a lot to take in all these directions now. So even then, he's telling the story, and all his friends just can't believe she'd act this way, so saying he had to have done something, or he's leaving something out. No. This is totally believable. I've lived long enough to see some crazy shit in my life. I'm sure most of you guys have too. And the stories I go over here, this guy, I say this a lot, guys. Every few years, a situation can arise where a guy has to look at his life and say, man, look how people in my life, I'm seeing their true colors. And they're not on my side. Time to cut people out of my life. So cut her out of the life, over and done with, end it with by text, and definitely amp up your security. Make it clear, you harass me, you destroy my property, you slander my name on social media or anything like that, making me look bad. There's going to be consequences, and mean it. As well as her friends. And any other friends that he has or family are giving him a hard time about this, time to find new ones. And then this guy needs to do a very good self-reflection as to why he got involved with a girl like this in the first place. Yes, she put on a big show, but why do you feel compelled to propose just 2 years after knowing her? Really? And all the other things. Why did he put up with this shit for so long? I get he was baffled in her behavior and everything, but really, this guy is a nice guy, but finally in the end had some balls, where a lot of nice guys do not have balls, and ended accordingly. So anyhow, guys, there you go. You spend years getting to know your girl, and I don't mean 1 or 2 years. You understand that when that 30's coming up, a lot of them get pretty damn desperate. I bet you all along she was dropping hints and pressuring him. He didn't mention that. You pay attention to her friends, even though like he didn't see her more like her coven until the end. You pay attention to family and all that, and you there you go. And if her perception of you is weak, that you're so into the relationship, because remember, it's all about your actions. You rush into a relationship, you rush to propose, and 2 years is too quick. That tells her, man, this guy really is in love with me. He ain't going anywhere. And I'm willing to bet you this woman's probably good looking. And probably this guy, it's a lot easier for her to get men than it is him for women. So she probably thinks this guy sees me as a catch and a prize and wants to lock me down. And there you go. And you know darn well, probably the type of guys that she really is attracted to don't do any of this stuff. So anyhow, good for him. This is the time where he can hopefully looks back at this moment in his life and says, that was the moment that I changed who I am. She did the 180, and now I'm doing the 180 and becoming the man I was meant to be, and not being perceived as this weak little tampon like the rest of like I was before. And then he doesn't ever get treated like this again. I hope he learns. But anyhow, definitely a good one.